I'm just going to clean my glasses. I was about to start this video and they are absolutely filthy. Okay, hi. First of all, let me apologise for the fact that I'm really self-conscious about looking really hay fever ridden today. My nose is looking a bit Rudolphy and my eyes are probably looking a bit squinty. I have been hit hard by the fever today. So this is a video I've wanted to film for a little while now, and I was probably going to film it a little bit later in the year, a bit closer to September, but obviously in current circumstances I've decided to film it now. If you are watching this and you are a concerned parent of a child who's going to start their school journey in September and you feel like they've been robbed of those important months at preschool, you know, settling in sessions, visits, all of that jazz that children should experience before they start school, then this is the video for you. So if you didn't know, obviously I do YouTube and I vlog, but I am also a primary school teacher. I have been for nearly 10 years now. I just do a little bit of part-time teaching now since having Leo, but it's kind of occurred to me since this whole lockdown that I have a lot of knowledge and understanding that I am really keen to share with you guys. So not only have I been doing all my home learning videos on my Instagram TV, which you can head to my Instagram to watch those, doing this video is something else I really wanted to do because I just want to ease any anxieties or concerns of any parents whose children are due to start in September. And basically I just want to do a roundup of what would normally be expected of a child starting school in September. I hate the word normal. There's no such thing as normal. When I say normal, I guess I mean an average child would be expected to do these things when they go into school in September. If your child isn't doing some of these things, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. That is nothing that you should be staying up at night worrying about. Every child is unique and different. Starting school is often the real making of children, and it really brings them out of their shell, and they take things on so quickly when they start school. They're little sponges. So if there are some things in this video that you think, oh my goodness, my little one is never going to grasp that by September, chill. Don't worry, don't worry. This video is not supposed to be applying pressure in any way. I just wanted to give you some sort of idea of what to expect or what would be expected in September. So the first thing that was on my list when I wrote this list, the first thing I thought of, and I have checked my list over with my friend who currently teaches reception just to check that I'd covered all the main points, which I had. But the first thing without a doubt is getting dressed. Your little one will be expected to be able to get themselves dressed and undressed when they start school in September. It is pretty important. They'll be doing PE once a week, and it is pretty expected that they would be able to get their school uniform off and their PE kit on pretty much independently. Obviously there are fiddly bits when it comes to school uniforms, especially girls, bless them, with all those buttons and things, and boys with their little buttons, and don't worry about that. But if they can do the basics, then that is brilliant. Also, obviously, when they're going to the toilet, they need to be able to pull their pants tight. Girls' tights, make sure girls can pull their own tights up after the toilet. Check that their dress isn't caught in their tights, you know, little things like that. Getting dressed and undressed was the thing that I wrote down immediately, like number one. And that includes a coat. Obviously we're in summer when I'm filming this, and hopefully it will still be warm when they go back in September, but just make sure that they know how to put their coat on, their raincoat, whatever. It is really important that they can do that independently, and that they are able, if they do want their coat, to just go and put it on easily by themselves. Okay, number two, they ideally should be able to use cutlery by the time they start school. So again, this is not saying that they have to eat an entire meal and cut up the entire meal independently. There are certain meats and, you know, pig potatoes and things that are tricky to cut up, and, you know, lunch ladies are absolutely on task, brilliant when it comes to helping children cut their food up. But when it comes to eating the food and using the cutlery to eat their lunch, that they will be eating their lunch pretty much independently. There are always people in the hall to help if they need it, but you really do want to make sure your little one is confident using that knife and fork on their own by the time they go in September. We don't want to give them, you know, anything to worry about in the lunch hall. The lunch hall is quite a big deal. They won't go in there straight away. They ease reception children into going in the lunch hall, but when they do, you know, it's such a big space to go into and they've got so much to think about. You don't want them to be having to think about their cutlery, so it is a big tip to make sure that they're confident with their knife and their fork. Okay, my tip number 3 is pencil grip. Make sure your little one, if you can hold a pencil, pen, crayon, whatever, confidently before they start school in September. And if you could try and make sure that they've got that pencil grip correct, then that would be amazing. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, don't worry, because I've got a video on my Instagram TV which I'm going to link in the description box for you guys. So if you just scroll down, you can watch my video where I have filmed me and Leo doing a pencil grip hack. Just using a little pom-pom, you can teach your little one to hold a pencil completely correctly with that correct pencil grip. It's just the most comfortable way to use a pencil, and obviously when they get into school they'll be expected to hold a pencil more and more, and we just want to make sure they're holding it the most comfortable way and that they don't fall into any bad habits. But it's so easy to do, and once they've cracked it and the light bulb goes off, they will always pick up the pencil in the correct way. But yeah, pencil grip is something you can easily work on at home over the summer if you've got a little pom-pom. If you're wondering what on earth I'm talking about, please just go to the description box and watch my pencil grip hack video and you'll see what I mean. Okay, my next point is to make sure that they can hold a book confidently and turn each page the right way. So obviously we're not expecting them to go to school in September and read. They are coming to school to learn how to read, so we're not expecting that. It would be great if they just confidently know when they pick up a book which way to hold it. So knowing that a book opens that way instead of opening a book backwards, it would be great if they've got that knowledge and understanding of holding the book correctly and which way each page turns. That is like a huge starting point when it comes to learning to read, and obviously the rest will come when they start school, but if they're confidently doing that, then that's brilliant. My next point is probably an obvious one, but an important one to talk about, which is independent toileting. It's not like at nursery. They will not have someone go with them to go to the toilet. They will be expected to go to the toilet independently. So I guess it's really important to use this time and this last summer before they start school to practice cleaning themselves properly after the toilet. A lot of schools have disposable wet wipes at the toilet, so if you've got those at home, I know that I use those with Leo and they are a lot easier to clean with, but not all schools do, so don't assume that the school will have disposable you know, flushable, wet wipes. So if you could practice with toilet paper, that would probably be best. And like I mentioned earlier, just make sure they can independently get themselves back together once they've used the toilet. Girls especially with tights, you know, it's really hard for girls to pull up tights sometimes, and then their dress gets all caught in the tights and all sorts. So yeah, going to the toilet independently, cleaning themselves after the toilet, and you know, rearranging their clothes is a real biggie. Now this one is an interesting one, and I double checked this with my friend who's a reception teacher, and she completely agreed that if your little one is doing this by September, this will be really fantastic and helpful. If they're not doing it, please don't stress, please don't worry, but it's just something to keep in mind. If you did want to work on it over the summer, it is great. You'll be your teacher's best friend if your little one shows up and they can do this, which is to count to at least 20 and to recognize the numbers to 20. They're not expected to be able to add and take away, but it really would be great if they recognize those digits. And this is another thing that just can be casually practiced at home over the summer, and then they're all set for September. I actually have my own range of number recognition flashcards, which you may have seen before on my Instagram or on here, called Fun Numbers, which I'll just show you, because if you are worried about number recognition, these will be perfect for you. So each digit has a character, and it's just really easy flashcards to show your little one at home to get their number recognition confident. And they do go all the way up to 20. So what I'll do is I'll link my Fun Numbers shop in the description box below, and you could always purchase these and practice them over the summer. if you're worried that they don't recognise all those numbers up to 20. If they could also know what those numbers mean and be able to pick 5 objects to go with number 5 or 7 objects to go with the number 7, and to know quantities as well as those number recognition, then that would be amazing. But the number recognition does come first, and then the quantities come next. Okay, my next tip is a really handy one. If you can get your little one to do this by September, it is greatly appreciated by teachers, believe me, which is writing their name independently. Again, I have a really easy hack to teach your little one to write their name at home, and I have filmed a whole YouTube video on how to get your little one to write their name in a week, and it is on my YouTube channel, so I will link that video in the description box below. I got my little boy Leo to write his name in a week, just doing the little hacks that I've used in that video. He still needs a little bit of support because he's got an E in his name, and E's are horrible. Yeah, that is a biggie. If you can have your little one write their name on their own by September, like, the teacher would be so thankful that you have done that. And it just means that they don't have to teach that in school, and they can get onto the next thing, and it's just one thing that doesn't have to be covered by the teacher in September, because they're already showing up in September being able to confidently do it. But like I said, if you'd like to work on writing your little one's name over the summer, just scroll down to the description box, and I've linked name writing video in there. And there you go, guys, that is the end of my what teachers expect in September video. I don't really know what to title this, because I don't want it to sound like you have got to do all these things by September, because that's absolutely not what I'm saying, and I don't want to apply any sort of pressure in this video. I just wanted to give an insight as a teacher of what is generally expected of little ones come September, especially in our current situation. Obviously, due to our current situation, I can imagine there's going to be a lot of leeway come September because they've had so much time at home. But obviously, the more things that I mentioned that you can get covered this summer, the better. And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe before you go, and scroll down to see my pencil grip hack video, my name writing hack video, and also my shop for my fun number flashcards if you wanted to practice your number recognition at home. Everything is just in the description box below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Don't worry, it's all gonna be fine. They're gonna love school. Just try not to worry. I know it's easier said than done, but everything will be fine, okay?